Hey, um, it is the end of the second week of school, and this week, this week was a shit week. I know there were moments that were awesome, but there's just sometimes when I don't know. I had a rough one this week, I guess. I don't know what to say. I know that I don't want these to be scripted or anything. I kind of want them to just be raw, and I'm here. So I'm here, and I turned on the record on the camera, and I'm in the makeup room, and my makeup's pretty poor. Like I don't have any eyebrows and no eyeliner really. Anyway, so it's Friday, and I am about what 7 days? Well, 7 days from Tuesday, and I will be on a plane to Texas. And don't get me wrong, don't read this the wrong way. I am super excited to be going. It's just the stress levels, like, and it's not really to do with the surgery so much as it's um, school, trying to get just to the point where I feel confident leaving and having someone else take over my classes, which that's never going to happen because I'm never going to feel confident. But um, I don't have a choice. I tried to get it done during the summer, but you know, lots of things kind of conspired against that. And maybe I'll go into those at a later date because a lot of them were not anything I could have done anything about. Yeah, never mind. I could launch into a tirade, but I won't because I'm trying to also keep these shorter. So I was looking at last week's, and God, it was almost oh hell, it was more than an hour. I'm pretty sure it was more than an hour. That was bad. They should never be that long. I think that I can drone on for way too long. But anyway, so this week, I just I think, and I don't know. I have been told that I set my expectations too high, but that's just who I am. I can't not set my expectations high, I guess. So they're up there, and I am either gonna have people help me reach them, or I'm just gonna reach them on my own, even if it kills me, which it won't. It won't kill me. But anyway, so yeah, so the week started off like high energy, stress level. Um, Monday, like the day before we went back to school, Sunday night, had some drunk guy trying to bust back into my neighbor's door. So I had to call the cops that night, which kept me up late. So I wasn't like really in the best of mood getting up in the morning. Anyway, and then I just, okay, I'm going to say this because, and I know I'm probably going to get, well, if anybody even watches my channel, I'm going to get flack for it, but Utah drivers, and this is beyond like general complaint. Utah drivers suck. You all suck. All of you. There's very few of you that should even be on the road in the first place. And I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of it because I already did. I already launched into that for my class. Tried to give them an instruction on how to drive because obviously you guys aren't getting the instruction in driving school. Anyway, Utah drivers, you deserve all the road rage you get. That's all I gotta say. If you're not, if you're not absolutely inept and stupid, then you're purposefully rude and like antagonistic. to a point of, yeah, to the point of aggressively. So, aggressively antagonistic. So, and yeah, I have driven all over the country at least, pretty much, and in some places other than the United States in the world. And I grew up here, so I can honestly say that Utah drivers, you are absolutely 100% without fail the worst. Period. Like, I drove in Boston, and Boston was bad. Not anywhere near Utahns. Anyway, so that was, and that's been kind of the, that's been the thing all week. Not the only thing, but anyway, part of it. I also think that, I don't know what's happening. Like, I think sometimes I feel like I'm just shutting down my compassion or my emotion or whatever because I'm tired of being sad. So, and oh God, that sounded horrible. So, anyway, raw it is. There was something that as I go throughout the week, I keep on thinking, oh, I need to talk about that on this week's video, or I need to talk about that, whatever. This week, there was hardly any time that happened. Like, most of the time I was just going from frustration to frustration. But it was a piss poor week. Oof. I don't know what else to say about that. Today there was something that I was driving around and I'm like going, oh, I need to bring that up on a video. And it's gone, so it probably wasn't worth bringing up, to be honest. So let me see if I can glean something, anything out of this. So this week was, I had to have auditions this week, so there's that, because I'm going to be gone, and I won't be back until October, or not October, like the end of October, so third term. I won't be back till third term, and in third term, we start rehearsing our first show. So there's that stress level, and that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, the plays, that's all on me, because they like, Katrina offered to say, let's just do one this year, but I can't justify that. I'm sorry. I don't care what the stress level is it gives me. I can't justify a theater program that is trying to grow, trying to get to a place where I can get these kids in front of universities all across the state, and if possible, some out of the state, start getting our shows adjudicated and get them into competition so the kids can go from here into college or university with scholarships, or just get accepted and go on. Like, so many of them come here with absolutely zero hope of getting into college because they don't believe they can. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that, period. And I want to do everything I can to build a program that will ensure that they have every opportunity they possibly can out there. Anyway, in live, and live theater, because my focus is live theater. I'm not doing the film piece. Anyway, so um, so yeah, the stress of the shows having to do two this year, that's on me, but I'll own that. I wouldn't change that for the world. I don't care what I'm going through. I don't care. I'm doing 2 shows a year at the very least. And if possible, like all other not all other high schools, that came out wrong, but other high schools, they do 4 shows at the very least, sometimes 5. I want to get us to a point where we're doing 4 shows a year. A 5th one maybe during the summer. It depends. So yeah. Anyway, a couple of things happened this week that were sad. So, but what else is new? So this week was the first like real week, I think, without a lot of our previous students. And I mean, if I'm being honest, like last year was spent, most of everything I did was with seniors. So I met, I mean, there were juniors and sophomores, and I met them and worked with them, some freshmen, and that was cool. But my team was all seniors, which may may have been a mistake, but I wouldn't trade that either. And so yeah. Anyway, so I miss them a lot. They're totally kick-ass kids, and they're going out into the world and they're succeeding and they're being awesome. And some of them are going out of state. Some of them are going to just colleges in state, but they're rocking it. They're doing good, and I couldn't be prouder. It's awesome. So that was kind of sad, knowing that they were moving on, but that has to happen. Oh my gosh! Like if this happens to me every year, which it probably will, I'm gonna be an emotional wreck by the time I retire, if I ever do, if I make it that long. Anyway, so that was sad. Um, I'm missing the ocean bad. I'm missing my family out in California. Um, Amber, Amber called day before yesterday to tell me that she had taken. So she's a therapist. I think I've said that before, but she officially didn't have her license, so she was taking the test, and she took the test, and she called and left a message on my phone saying, "Hey, I'm licensed." She passed her test, which I knew she would. She's awesome. So then, as soon as I could, I returned her call, which was after school was out, and I'm talking on the phone because she wasn't there, so I was leaving a message. But like no more than like 2 sentences into the message, I'm like shouting and yelling because some Utah driver pulled out in front of me and almost killed me, and I had to swerve out of the way and almost killed the other person. So I was apologizing to them and yelling at the other person. I just hung up the phone real quick because then I realized, oh, that's all going on a voicemail. So then I called back to tell Amber I'm sorry that that totally probably blew out her eardrum, and I wasn't yelling at her. I was yelling at the cars. But anyway, I'm sure she knew that. But. So that happened. Um, and hopefully I can connect with her, I don't know, sometime this weekend and congratulate her fully. But that was very cool. She's licensed. That's awesome. So yeah, so I'm missing California. Missing my family out there. I'm missing my kid. That's hard. God damn it. This sucks. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have them be this raw, but I'm missing my kid. She has a show coming up, and it might be the first show of her entire life that I ever miss. I hope not. Um, I'm gonna drive up there to see it, but she's just gotta get back to me and let me know if it's gonna be possible to come up to a matinee on the Saturday or to an evening. I'll drive home late. That's fine on Saturday. Um, and I'm sure she'll get back to me. It's just I don't know. I just it, I don't ever want to miss a part of her life at all. Forget the plays. Anyway, so yeah, I've been missing my kid, and a couple of things just kept frustrating the hell out of me at school this week. Like, just so much I'm trying to get done. Like, it seems like I get up at 5:30 every morning when my alarm goes off, and I can barely drag myself out of bed because the pain in my neck now has gotten to be to a point where, like, I was not wanting to get surgery, but hell, I'd rather have surgery than go through this pain every morning. So I'd wake up at like 5:30, no matter what I did, like I would like try to get in the shower faster, try to get shaved faster, which is always pleasant, and try to get the cats fed faster and get in the car faster. And inevitably something would happen. I would always get to the freaking school by just a little bit after 8. And then, I'm running around trying to get the room ready and trying to get my breakfast fixed, which I didn't really even get breakfast started to get, like, I didn't even get the hang of getting breakfast fixed till probably like Wednesday. But, and then I get into class with, just enough time to eat it and start class, or eat it while I'm starting class. But anyway, so yeah, so there's been that. This week there were a couple of moments this week that were super awesome. Like we started some improv this week in my acting class. And some of those kids they're just cool. They got it. And I think we're gonna have a pretty good year acting wise. And a lot of my students this year are freshmen, which is, which I was dreading actually. But then I started seeing some of them doing the improv and some of them singing, like today at the auditions. Oh my God. Like, yeah, very good. So we started doing the auditions this week. Makeup's been a hassle because I just, yeah, and I haven't, so I got used to last year just kind of going and just buying stuff and then being reimbursed later because sometimes I forget to do all the paperwork stuff and I just kind of need to get out there and buy it so that I have it the next day. So I just do that. And that just, I hate it when people talk about teachers and say, oh, they got it so great. They get like 3 months off in the summer and they only got to go to school for so long. Blah, 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 blah. They get all the vacations, but we have your kids longer than you do for the majority of their life, at least up until they turn 18 and graduate. So, and you know what? It's not always fun and games. Just saying. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love the kids, but when you start talking about how teachers, oh, they get paid enough. Yeah, no, that's not cool. Anyway, so running around buying stuff, and that kind of stresses me out because right now I'm trying to like save and make sure that I have enough money to like get from here to Texas, plane ticket, probably rent an Uber or a Turo, probably rent a car while I'm there for at least the first couple of days because I don't even go into the hospital until the 15th. I get there on the 12th, have an exam, don't go in until the 15th. So there's like 2 days there when I don't just want to be like confined to an apartment somewhere. Then I go into the hospital and then I got to pay for aftercare um, at a place that's attached to the hospital, or it's not attached to it, but they have a tie-in with them. Anyway, $400 a night there. That's lovely. $400 a night for at least 10 nights. So that's like what, $4,000 to stay there. I mean, that covers all the like aftercare and having a nurse there and food and stuff. So I mean, it's probably worth it, but still, that's a huge chunk. So that's been kind of hard. Um, and and then anyway, so I just got to get better at filling out the paperwork and taking the credit card and not using my money. But that's a weird thought process for me. But and then I only have so much of a budget. Like my theater budget is pretty much the same as last year. I don't know if that's going to change. I mean, we had talked about it changing. Um, Ryan and Katrina and I had talked about the theater budget kind of being a little bit more like the film budget guys have, but I mean, I don't know what that is, and I don't know how that works, and I don't know if we can still do it because we're a charter school and we go off enrollment, and we go off the year's prior's enrollment, and last year's enrollment was down. So that's just the long and short of it. So that was harsh. And then I found out this week that like one of my favorite freshmen from last year, like she was in everything I did. She was in Titus, and she was in Rent. She was one of the leads in Rent. Phenomenal singer, but she's not coming back this year. She's Riley. She's staying up in Park City, which I'm not going to fault her for that. I mean, Park City's a long ways to come all the way down here. It's hard and snow, you know, it's rough in the wintertime, and it makes sense. Like if she is having a good time or good, if she wants to change, that's good for her, and that's cool. But it's still, I mean, I'll miss her like everybody else. Anyway. So, um, and then my stagecraft class, that's been, oh God, like that's just nonstop going. Like I have to bounce from this room to that room, and I'm trying to keep because I'm supposed to be in the room with the students like 100% of the time. And I've already talked to Katrina and Nolan, and it's going to be difficult in that class because that's a stagecraft class, and I've got kids in one room and kids in another room, and so I kind of have to like keep an eye on them. But I'm still trying to assess kids so that I can move them from the beginning stagecraft into the advanced stagecraft, so they can be a team of mine that I use. Anyway, that's hard, but I think I've started to find uh, a few to add to that crew. They're considered to be kind of the rowdy kids of the school. You know, they kind of walk around with an attitude and take they, but I don't know. They'll probably kill me just for saying this, but I think they're pretty good kids, to be honest. And I like having conversations with them, and they're really good hard workers. And when you talk to them, they're good kids. They are. Okay. Um, so that was happening, and then like one day in particular, like day before yesterday, yeah, I think it was Wednesday. That was a tough one. It was a hard one. Like we had advisory day that day, and then I tried to discuss. Oh yeah, that was advisory day. Or was it yesterday that all this? No, it was Wednesday. It was advisory day, and advisory day is always hard because you got like 4 classes instead of 3, and then so and you're kind of trying to still get everything done in slightly longer or shorter classes. And at the end of the day, there was so much stuff that had to be moved in that we had left outside because I didn't have enough time to clean up after second period. And we had a faculty meeting that day, which went until like 4 or something. I was going to have a chiropractor's appointment because, again, my back and neck are gone. But the faculty meeting went till 4 something, so I basically just called the chiropractor, said I'm not going to make it. And then they were wondering if I wanted to reschedule. I was like, I have no idea, because at that point I had lost. So I had lost my school keys. Didn't know where those were. And the weird thing is, I never had this problem last year, but I think it's because I had everything on one big honking keychain. But God, I didn't want to. Oh my gosh, am I already at 23 minutes? Sorry, guys. But I can't, the solution can't be just that I'm either stuck with a gigantic wad of keys or I lose keys all the time. That can't be the solution. So I just got to get used to having, work keys and car keys and just keeping track of them. So I had lost the work keys, and I was trying to get out of there because I had to get at least so that I could get to my electrolysis appointment that night, because anyway, that's another story. But so finally I find the keys, and I'm rushing to try to bring stuff in, and all of our rollers didn't get properly cleaned out, so they're all drying out. And I bring everything in, and I'm grabbing this like big red bag with like I think it's the heavy tent in it, and I lean it up against where the tables are leaning up, and it's leaning up against the bookshelf, and the bookshelf goes and there were like probably 6 or 7 cans of half full and full paint that just kind of went and exploded. paint everywhere, pools of paint. So I was super frustrated and angry at that point, and God, so stupid. And I don't usually get to that point. And it's been a long time since I just punched something out of anger, but that had kind of pushed me to the edge, and I punched the shelf that was in front of me and forgot that, I'm not as strong, nor is my skin as resilient now that I'm, you know, been on hormones for as long as I have. So I ruined up my hand pretty good. I don't know what's going to happen there. Hopefully it heals. So, and I hope you're going to be able to hear all this, because I think some of this I'm murmuring, but I don't care at this point. So. Anyway, so that made me really angry. Finally got home, and the next morning was even worse. Couldn't find my car keys, and it was just frustration on top of frustration on top of frustration on top of frustration. By the time I get to the school, I'm just like, I'm not, I'm silent. And for those of you who know me, the kids from last year, and those of you who really know me, when I get like beyond angry, like truly angry, I'm not noisy and I'm not loud. I get more and more quiet. I get silent. And I came to school and I was silent. I was in that mode. And I didn't want any of the kids to think that I was angry at them, so I wasn't looking at them, because I told them, I said, sometimes I know that I have a tendency to be intense, and I don't know how that happened. Like, I just know that when I talk to people, I tend to look in their eyes, and maybe that's too intense. I don't know. Anyway, so I was avoiding looking at them, and I just let the kids know. I go, I need you to know that I'm not avoiding your gaze because I'm angry. I'm avoiding your gaze because I don't want you to think I'm angry at you. Anyway, the morning was rough. By the afternoon, I think I had kind of gotten my head around it. Today was the day after that, and today was way better. And today we had auditions. Yesterday we had our first set of auditions, and there were only like 3 people that showed up, so I was a little bit worried, because I got 2 shows to cast, and one of them's Hairspray, and Hairspray is gigantic. Today I had this, but the 3 I saw yesterday were all freshmen, and wow, like, they were good. We've got a good set of kids coming in here. And then today we had auditions, and the full load were there, and they were all signed up, and there were people who were here last year and some who were brand new, freshmen, juniors, sophomores, and we just got a super good crop of kids at this school. So it was a good end to an otherwise crappy week. So I'm going to end it there, because I'm sitting at like either 28 or 38, I can't tell. Half an hour is like, that's about as long as I ever want these videos to be. If anything, I want them to be shorter. So that's where I'm going to end. Next week I'll probably do another one, and then when I start getting ready to go down to Texas, I'll start a video journal type blog of the whole finally transitioning to me process. Although I'm going to tell you right now, so, and I'm honestly not trying to cast shade on those in my community, the trans community, especially the trans women community, who are all like really excited once they get the surgery done, and they're like, hey, look, here's my, and they show pictures of it, or they'll like, hey, you want to come see it? And they'll like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that ain't gonna happen. Not with me. Like, my aftercare position will probably be one of the very few people, other than, eventually if I get married and have a husband, whoever see it, that like my regular gynecologist, that'll be the only people who ever really see it. Like I guess I'm either a little shy or just private. Like I don't even think it's shy. I just think I'm private. And I shouldn't have to. So anyway, that's not gonna happen. So I'll vlog about the process, but you ain't gonna see any images. That's just not it. I still have a this that eventually needs to be like unboxed. I don't know if you can see that's the deck of Scarlet, which I probably should unbox. I don't know, sometime next week, because I think I got another one on its way. But I think that's going to be it for now. I don't know if you're hearing in the background, but music's playing. I hope the YouTube video doesn't get taken down. If it does, I guess I make another one. But I don't think it should, because I checked this title and it says that you can play this one. Anyway, you probably can't hear it anyway, but I'm gonna go. This video was a mess. I was a mess, but I'm still here. I will do another one next week.